Hey everyone, it's Marianne Maldonado, and I'm going to be creating a layout today using the June 2023 main kit and the embellishment kit. I'm also basing my layout off of the mood board, and I drew inspiration from the lines and the umbrellas. So I'm going to be using this cut file free to subscribers, and I'm going to be creating this layout. So I went ahead and cut the cut file off of the camera, and I printed the photo that I wanted. So that photo is from just this past weekend, and I thought the sunset was absolutely gorgeous. I'll tell you more about that in a minute, but I'm obviously tracing solid papers. Like, I didn't want to put paper behind each ray, so I decided that I would keep it simple and have all the rays be yellow. And so I just put the paper in behind the cut file, and I use that as a template to trace the areas that I need to trim out with my scissors to put behind. But I need to be careful because I need to have just a small border behind where I'm tracing, because if I don't, then I won't have anything to attach the glue to. And so set that aside, and I'm going to start with the stars. I get a brighter, darker yellow for the stars, and I carefully trace those, and I screw up on every single one of them, so I saved you from having to watch that. So I backed all of those with the darker yellow, and it's not as easy as it looks. I probably should have just gone ahead and released compound, trimmed out those stars, and cut them on my silhouette. You know, if you can, what's that one that makes it bigger? I can't remember the name of the word. And then you can put them behind your stars much easily. But I had already closed my cut file, so don't do that until you're done your project, because you can always go back if I manipulated it to make it, of course, a larger size, but then you can't go back if you've shut it, because there goes what you've done and the size that you've done. So be sure to leave that open and available until you've completely done your with your cut file or your project or whatever, because you can't go back and get the perfect size anymore if you do that. So you see I've finished up those stars. I just have to trim them a little bit with my scissors or my X-OXO knife to get them absolutely perfect and nothing showing. And probably would have been okay because there's yellow behind it. But anyway, I tacked this down, and that's a big mistake. I didn't mean to tack, well, my intent was not to tack this down quite yet. I wanted to, you'll see in a second, I lift up the bottom paper around the sun, because the actual circle of the sun is what I'm going to, was where I'm going to place my photo. So I shouldn't have glued that, because I want to tuck my photo underneath it and then put that mask that was part of the cut file that that's trash for the sun, and I put that over the top of it, and then I pull the photo out with that on top, and then I trim. You'll see in just a second. It's a little complicated to say. I don't know why I'm having a hard time, but you'll see in a second. I did have to lift up all that glue that I had put down, and then I slide the photo in here, place it where I want, and use that white centerpiece as a mask. Let's see. There it is. Okay. And then I carefully pull the photo and the mask out, keeping it in place. And then I just trim around that with my scissors. And be sure to leave a border as you're trimming. Unlike myself, I did cut it twice. See the one there? That's too small. That's off to the right. Then I cut this one, leaving a border so I have something to attach the cut file to, so my photo stays in place and there's no rough edges. See that? And then you just add a little tiny bit of glue. That is lifted. I'm not just putting glue on the photo. That is, I do have it lifted, or the tip of that glue stuck up underneath the cut file. So isn't that adorable? And then you just trim off the top, because you could do that later. It doesn't have to be done right at the time that you don't have to cut it down any earlier. And then I thought I was going to use blue, but then I'm like, that's a little bit too much for the clouds. So I used the white as the bottom and a little bit of the blue. Love how that looked. And then I used the whole sheet of paper. And then I just tack that down with a little bit of glue on those thin spots, put it right down on the blue and white paper. And now it's a solid piece. Let's see. I forget what's next. It looks cute. Oh, and then I go through the ephemera pieces. I definitely want the hot air balloon. I loved it. I loved what it said. It says, let's go, I think. Yes, it does. And so this is my son's future school. It's in Clemson, South Carolina. He's going to be going to Clemson. And I'm hoping and praying that he gets a lot of sunsets like this when he's down there. We were walking the town and walking the campus, and the sunset was absolutely gorgeous. So when I saw this cut file, I knew I wanted to use that photo for this layout. So I use the hot air balloon. I do back that with foam tape, but I made the title around my son, and then I started placing it, but it didn't stick hard. And then I went back and stuck it once it was in place. So I backed a tag with foam tape, of course, and then, of course, the hot air balloon with foam tape for a little dimension. And then I layer those up to the top. I didn't want to really take away from the sun or I don't know. I just thought everything up in the corners would be the perfect solution for this layout, or perfect way to decorate this layout. It's a very simple layout once you get past the cut file. You just need to get past that, and then everything comes together rather quickly. So I add a sentiment or a circle, a layered sticker. It says so much fun. And then I do add a little sentiment from the sticker sheet, and it says the world awaits. You'll see all that in the close-ups. And then I did a little journaling, and I put that in the opposite corner on the bottom left. And that piece is from the ephemera packet too. So add a few more stars from the gold puffy stickers. And those are glitter. And the glitter does not come off because I'm not a fan of glitter. It gets all over the place. But it really does look great on this layout. And the yellow with the gold, it just goes. So I'm going to leave you with some close-ups. Thank you for being here with me today. If there's anything that you're looking for from this layout, I will put it all down in the description below. So please give us a follow, a like. We would very much appreciate it. And if you stick around, we'll see you again tomorrow with a different designer. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.